Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Tuesday, August 5th edition of our video devotionals. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope your Tuesday's going well. We've got a rainy day, a rainy and super cool day, especially compared to the temperatures we've been experiencing. It's 63 degrees here at this time of the day, and hard to believe, but it is, and we'll take it. I'm actually in a flannel shirt, believe it or not. And I know a few days from now, even a week from now, we'll be back to sweating it out. But we're going to take what God's given us, and I am glad for the coolness. Well, we do appreciate everybody who watches the videos. Thank you for that. We do ask you, of course, as we kind of bring up a few prayer requests from time to time. Christy's mom and dad, I think today they have appointments. Tomorrow they have appointments. And between the two, they've got health issues, and we're just asking you to pray for them, if you will. A dear lady here on that watches this for years from the very beginning. She's asked prayer for her mother. I know there's people from our church and others who watch this. They've got their own health concerns, and so that being said, you don't have to look far at all to pray for people. And then, of course, if you've got means to social media or the news outlet, then praying for the country and for the world. Man, there's just so many things. But you know what? God's able to handle all of that. Let's just do our part to pray, and that's important. Well, we're in Ecclesiastes chapter 5 today. We're going to look at the first 3 verses of Ecclesiastes. And I think tomorrow might be our last day in the book of Ecclesiastes. It's only 12 chapters, and this is the portion I'm going to give you today. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Notice what it says. It says in Ecclesiastes 5, verse 1, "Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil." So there's just listen before you talk, so to speak, and listen more than you speak, because as we read through this, fools are known for their much talking. Notice verse 2. "Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few." It means be careful making a bunch of claims and making a bunch of promises and a bunch of vows. You need to tap the brakes, as they say. That's what the Bible's saying there. Notice verse 3. This is the last verse. "For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words." When it comes to verse 3, kind of emphasize that, but basically what's being said here, our mouth, we get a lot of trouble with our mouth, right? The book of James speaks about that. It's kind of like if we put a bit in the horse's mouth. When I was growing up, my grandfather had some horses, and from time to time we would saddle up the horses and we'd go horseback riding. And to do that, one of the features is around the horse's head, you had to put the horse's bridle on. And you take that bit and put it right next to their teeth, and they would open up their mouth, put it over their ears, and of course you'd cinch it up there a little bit and throw the reins around their neck, put the blanket on and the saddle, and do all that. You can go horseback riding. But those bits in that horse's mouth, you can really control a horse. Now, a horse that's trained well, and if you're a good rider, you don't need to be working its mouth real hard. You just don't want that. It's not good for the horse. It's just not good. If you properly train an animal like that, you can control them without having to really use that bridle so much. And I know this is not even the message, but I guess I'm kind of reverting back to some things. You can even, instead of tugging on the rein and pulling the horse's neck practically around to get them to turn, if you can just kind of lay that rein against their neck, they know they can just feel the touch of the rein against their neck reining, as they call it. And I know you didn't tune in to hear that, but I'm just saying, wouldn't it be amazing if we could control ourselves about like we control a horse like that, our mouth. And what the Bible is saying here, a fool is known for talking a lot. But verse 3 says, "For a dream," something that's going to happen. You've got a dream, you want something to happen. Let's just say you have a dream of building a doghouse, okay, something as simple as that. And you talk to, "I wish I had a doghouse. I wish I had a doghouse. I'd paint it this, I'd do that." You never have a plan, you never start it, and all you do is talk about having a doghouse. You know how a doghouse becomes a reality? You go to Lowe's, you go to one of these home improvement stores, you go buy the lumber, you get you a plan, you start putting it together. It comes to fruition through a multitude of business that happens when you start doing things, action. So it's the same thing. You say, "Man, I want to serve God. I want to serve God. I want to serve God." I tell you what, just get out there and go with somebody that's already working and being busy for God. And you know what? Your dream of doing something for God is going to come to reality. But if all we do is sit around and talk about things, I wish this, I wish that, I want that, I want this, you know what? Then get busy. Get busy. Do some action. Put some action to it. Ask God to help you while you're in the action, while you're in the state of doing something. And that's how a dream comes to reality. So that's what we got for you today from the book of Ecclesiastes. Tomorrow we'll be right back in it. Hope you have a great day, safe day, healthy day, Lord willing. Again, we'll see you tomorrow on the middle part of the work week. Thanks for watching.